Hey, howdy-ho, you guys. A friend of mine called me up and he said, look, our plum tree is covered in plums and we've got so much plum jelly from last year that we don't know what to do with. So he says, if you want them, come get them. So I hopped in the car and I ran over and got them. And one of the things that I've learned is, getting juice out of fruits and stuff like that is it's an awful chore. So I thought I would take a little time and make a fruit press or cider press. I got some apples to go over and get at another neighbor's, probably within the next day or so. And our apple trees are 3 years old. We might get a dozen apples off of them for the first time this year. Woot. Anyhow, so after I spent a day and a half building a cider press, it took me a long time, it shouldn't have, I posted a picture on Facebook. Well, I was inundated right away with people asking me for plans and how did you build it and etc., etc. So I thought I'd show you how I made my cider press, along with trying it out for the first time with these plums. So here we go. Hold on a sec. Okay, you guys, so I built the thing out of scrap lumber that I had laying around, so it didn't hardly cost me anything, and it's all pretty self-explanatory, but I'll run you through what I can. The bottom is 1 by 8s, I think they were originally, and I put 2 layers, and I put the grain, I don't know if you can see that, crosswise like this, so that it would be stronger and wouldn't split. But you have to be careful when you're doing something like that. Let me see how that looks in the camera. Yeah, good enough. I screwed everything together with just sheetrock screws, and what I did was I countersunk the bottom layer, okay, so that and pre-drilled it a little bit large so that there's room for the wood to expand and contract with humidity, because if you don't, it's going to split. And same thing over here. Let's see if that's in frame enough. Yeah, the uprights are secured with 4 big lag bolts, 1/4-inch lag bolts by, I think they're 4-inch. And there's a little room there for some movement so that with humidity it won't crack the wood. And I didn't build the thing to look real pretty. I suppose I could, but I want it to last a long time for me. So, and here we go on the inside. Okay, these are just 2-inch. See if you can see that. I'll turn it up, maybe. These are 2-inch by 8-inch, just slats that I cut off on a table saw, and they're screwed into these 2 big beefy bands that I made, again out of 1 by material, but they're so you've got 1.5 inch thick stuff here, and it's secured with 1 5/8 drywall screws and a little dab of glue right in the center, again allowing for that expansion and contraction. On the bottom too, they're just in between the 2 layers, they're just a couple of dots of glue here and there so that everything can move. What else can I show you? Down here on this bottom band, let me move the camera just a little bit. I thought that the strongest joint on these corners would maybe be a through tenon, and then it's screwed from underneath, but wow, that turned out to be so much work for me to do because my tools are limited. So when I did the top band, it's just a shiplap, but I'm hoping that'll be good enough to hold everything. I went ahead and put the bottom one with the through tenons because I think that's where the most pressure is going to be when I squeeze the juice. I did put a little dado in the side ones here to help attach it to these uprights. And the uprights, again, down on the bottom there's those lag screws coming up in, and these are just 3 pieces of 1x. Again, by the way, these pieces here are actually part of an old 2x6 that I ripped down, and I did put, because I got 3 of them here, all I had to do was cut up with the camera, this one off short, and that allowed for a through tenon here. And there's a knot right here, and when I was cutting everything out it kind of blew out, so I went ahead and put these rounded corners just to hide that. Again, everything's all screwed together with drywall screws is all I used. I suppose I could have used something like stainless or something. I put an extra band of 1x underneath here, and I drilled a hole up in the top and the bottom of here so that the top of the jack would fit into it and wouldn't slide around. So here's what the inside looks like, the bottom, and pretty simple construction actually. It took me a long time to do, but it's not very complicated when it comes down to it. I was just fighting with my shop equipment and stuff, and you can even see in places like, I don't know if you can see that right there, there's an old nail hole from all this 1x used to be attic flooring that I tore up. Had my own attic because we wanted to insulate that space. And anyhow, that's pretty well all the construction that there is to it. Now, I call this the dasher. I don't know any other name for it. A couple screws in here to help lift it out, but it's just slightly smaller than the hole here. So, and then for a finish, I just used mineral oil, which is basically baby oil without the fragrance in it. It was the best compromise I could come up with, because it's supposedly fairly non-toxic, and I didn't want anything toxic to get into my juice, but I wanted to protect the wood, obviously, so I just rubbed mineral oil all over it and let it soak in a couple coats. Other than that, I mean, they're supposed to be able to use this for a laxative even, so that's kind of the situation there. I'm going to set this down in here, and we'll pretend it's the bag full of fruit. So the dasher goes in on top of it like that. I don't know what bottle jack I had goes in here like this, and tighten that up. Let me see if I can put this right in frame for you, because I told you there was a hole up in there, and the top of the bottle jack goes right up in that hole and keeps it from sliding around here. So that's about all there is to it, folks. It's pretty simple. So yeah. Oh, show you this. Let me zoom in a little bit here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me move the camera right up tight and close. Crooked. There we go. Right down here on the bottom. Okay, all the way around the outside. I took a router and grooved out a channel and cleaned it up as best I could with a chisel. and it goes all the way around the outside and comes right down to here, and there's a hole right there that I drilled through, and that's where the juice should come out. I'm gonna set everything up outside, and I got some plums that we got from a neighbor, and I'll try it out for you. Be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm outside, so I don't make a mess in the house. I've got a pot underneath my little drain hole. My neighbor gave me a whole bunch of plums the other day, so I squeezed all the pits out by hand. Since we're outside, we're probably going to have cars go by, of course. I'm going to save some of the pits for planting next year and experimenting. And so I took what was left of the plums, which were pretty well, squeezed out anyhow, and I put them on the stove and let them simmer for like 3 hours low, and get them all soft. And here we go. We're going to try it out. We'll see how it does. This is just a pillowcase. A white one probably would have been better, so I could bleach it, but this is going to live the rest of its days as part of the fruit press. Put it down in here as even as I can on the bottom, and I'll just ladle in the plums and the juice that's with them. I put a little water in with them to keep them from sticking to the pot, but it shouldn't hurt much. And we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to try and fill this up over here. So I got it filled, and the juice is already coming out of it. I'm hoping to get a gallon, you guys, so I can make some wine. My friend's got more plums that are still ripening over there. So I put the pillowcase down in here as flat as I can, and I'll set the dasher down on top. Probably just put the weight of the jack on it for now. Let it sit for a few minutes. I'll be back. Well, okay, the press worked great. The only thing I have to do is probably, I'm going to take the base off, and that little channel around the bottom that was supposed to channel the juice into that hole, I'm going to make it bigger because it overflowed. And here it is. I got over 1.5 gallons of plum juice out of that batch, and it worked really well, and it should last me years and years and years to come. So there we go. And the reason it's so foamy is because I've already added the yeast, and it's on its way to becoming plum wine. So we'll hopefully see you next time, and I hope you got some good ideas about how to make a fruit press. In the meantime, remember, we'll get through this.